Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. My name is Karen Shana, and I'm part of the CodaBears team. I'll be presenting Kinetic MES, which stands for Manufacturing Execution System, covering the topics of material issues and returns. You may be already familiar with working in MES to issue and return materials in Epicor, but today we'll also show you the Kinetic screens for MES materials, issuing and returning materials. Today I'll show some of the different screens for issuing and returning materials in Kinetic MES and Epicor. It's expected that you know how to log into Kinetic MES, or you can review our previous recording for that subject. I'll show the permission needed for employees to use Material tab in MES, and I will have example screenshots of each of these topics: issuing, single material issue, an assembly issue, miscellaneous material issue, and mass issue. And then for return, a single return, assembly return, and miscellaneous return. And at the end, a transaction log to verify your transactions if you wish. So the first picture here shows the Kinetic screen for employee maintenance. Charles Johnson has the checkbox checked for material handler. Having this checkbox marked will allow Charles to use the material tab / card, it's called in Kinetic, in MES, and the buttons on that card. Notice the second picture shows the main buttons that we'll be talking about today, those used for issuing and returning materials. The first column has all the issue buttons, and the second column highlighted shows all the return buttons available in MES. If your production jobs are only one or a few materials for the final part, you likely will issue each material individually. On the data collection screen on the materials card, you can click the button for issue material. Here you can see you have the option to search for a job using the little magnifying glass in the job field, and then you can choose the assembly and the material from the drop-down list. Notice the purple area shows information about the required quantity and the previously issued quantity for this material. The other fields on the to card, notice this is the to card, default in based on your Epicor setup, but some fields can be changed. And the from card, you'll enter the quantity. So this is the from card, and you'll enter the quantity. And you can notice that you can enter a reference and change or verify the warehouse and bin, and enter a lot number if your part is lot number tracked. When you're happy with all your data, click the save button to make the actual issue happen. If your production jobs use assemblies that have specified a pull quantity from stock, you can issue the assembly. On the main data collection screen on the material tab, again, you have the button for issuing assembly here. Here you can see again that you can search for a job using the little magnifier, and then you can search for a job, or you can type it in if you know it from Job Traveler, for example. And then you pick the assembly from the drop-down box. Notice, again, the purple area should be showing you the quantity and the previously issued quantity, but my testing showed 0 since this test data did not have any pull quantity. I did later test, and if the pull quantity is entered, then the required quantity is shown. The other fields, again, on the to card here, default in based on your Epicor setup, but some fields can be changed. And again, in the from card, you'll enter your quantity. And again, you can optionally enter your reference and verify or change your warehouse and bin, and also enter a lot number if your assembly is a lot tracked part. Again, when you're happy with your issue of the assembly, then you click the save button to make the actual issue happen. Miscellaneous material issue is used to issue miscellaneous parts from inventory. So on the main data collection screen with the material tab, you have issue miscellaneous button. You can search for a part in this case instead of a job, or you can type a part if you'd like to, and then you can choose the warehouse from the drop-down box. The middle grid will show all the bins that are in that warehouse that have quantity in them. Selecting the row in the grid will bring that bin number down to the bin details card. Make sure to enter the quantity and reason for your issue of miscellaneous, and then the items again shown in green are optional. You can enter a reference, a lot number, PO line, and release if you have those for your miscellaneous part issue. Mass issue materials is used to quickly issue the planned materials to a job rather than entering each transaction individually. The main advantage of using mass issue to manufacturing is that you can issue material to the sub-assemblies at the same time. So again, on the main data collection screen, you have the material tab and you have the button for mass issue. The middle picture shows the first screen where you can enter or search for a job. Similarly, as we did in the other screens, you can use the magnifier glass to search for a job, or you can manually type in a job. The grid on the assemblies card will show all the assemblies for this job. If you select the row in the grid and then you click the include assembly or include sub-assemblies, The sub-assemblies for that row will be listed on the next screen. And then if you click back to the assembly 0 in this grid to view all the materials on the next screen. When you click the issue button for mass issue, that brings up this third screen here. And when you click the issue all button, Epicor will fill in the quantity issued column and move the radio button to completed. Previously it was showing open issues before you click the issue all, but it shows completed after you issue all. You can see the quantity required for each material is in the purple there, and testing shows that if quantity required is 0, either there is no required quantity or there is no quantity on hand for that material. For the mass issue, you are also relying on the from and to warehouse and bin to be set up correctly, and that lot numbers are not needed. Otherwise, you can also manually change those values in the grid here before clicking on the save button. Once you click on the save button, that's going to actually do the mass issue of the materials. Now we'll talk about returns, the opposite of issuing. So again, if you only need to return one or a few materials on your production jobs for the final part, you'll likely use the return materials button. And again, on the main data collection screen, you can see under the material tab that you have the button for return material. Here you can see again that you can enter or search for your job and then select your assembly and material from the drop-down box. You also have information shown here regarding the previously issued and the required quantity for this particular material. Then on the to card, again, you'll enter your quantity, and optionally you can enter a reference. You can verify or change your warehouse and bin, and you can enter a lot number if your material is lot tracked. Once again, when you're happy with all of your data, click the save button to make the actual return happen. If you need to return a single assembly for your production jobs, you can use the return assembly button on the main screen, data collection screen. Again, with the material card tab, you can press the button for return assembly. And again, you can search for your job using the little magnifying glass or enter it if you know it, and then pick the assembly from the drop-down box. And here you can see what the required quantity is and the previously issued quantity, and you can see for information that it was issued complete previously. So on the to card, in this case, instead of the opposite on the other issuing, you enter your quantity 0, or whatever quantity you're going to return. I'm sorry. It just shows 0 because I didn't finish this one. Then you can optionally enter your reference number if you want to, or reference characters. And you can verify or change your warehouse and bin if you'd like. And then you can also enter a lot number if your assembly is lot tracked. And again, once you're happy with all your data, you'll click the save button to make the actual return happen. So you'll use return miscellaneous to return miscellaneous parts to inventory. Again, on the main data collection screen on the material tab, you have a button that says return miscellaneous. And that brings up this screen where you can either enter the part or search using the magnifying glass to get your part. Again, you have the drop-down box for a warehouse, so you can choose which warehouse you're going to return your miscellaneous part to. And then the middle grid here will show your warehouse bins for the warehouse that you selected there, and it will show whatever the on-hand quantity is for inventory in that bin in that warehouse. And if you select the row, the bin details pull in the bin here, and then you can enter the quantity that you'd like to return. And then again, the green fields are optional, your reference, lot number, and order line and order release. It will show whatever previously issued amount was done. You do have to enter a reason, so we put that in yellow here to show you the reason. And once you're happy, you click the save, and you will notice right after you click save that your on-hand quantity will increase if you put in a positive value in your return. So back on the main MES data collection screen, after all the return buttons on the material tab, there is a button for transaction log. You can see the transactions that took place for a certain time frame. This can be another way to double check all your expected issues and returns were done. So this small picture shows what pops up for you to enter your from and to dates, and then click the OK button. And that brings out another slide out as shown on the left picture here, where you can see all your transaction log results. It includes many more columns than you can see here without scrolling over to the right. So I used the overflow menu, which is the little 3 dots here, to copy all with labels to show the key fields in the Excel table shown in the lower right. So you can see that it shows the transaction date and type, what part was part of the transactions during the time frame, and the part description and the quantity, and if you did put in a reference, or in this case Epicor put in a reference for you when you mass issue, and then the user ID. Based on the transaction type and the parts, you should be able to verify each of your issue and return transactions. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully some nice summer weather.